Okay. Let me just start out this video. I know you saw the title, and I'm going to spill everything about my experience. I just want to set a really quick disclaimer, really quick. I don't think all Sephoras are bad. I actually really liked my time there for the most part, and I think it's a great place to start out. This is just my experience working at Sephora, and I understand that when you're in a retail environment, there's going to be people that are unprofessional and uneducated, and I'm not the only one, oh my god, to go through an awful experience like this. But I'm just telling you guys, I'm putting this out there. I'm doing it for you, really, because if you have gone through something similar, I don't want you to just think that it's okay, because it's not okay. Yeah. I'm also going to give another disclaimer, and a really quick, this is just for Sephora's sake, because I do think that there are good things about Sephora. There are. Not, well, I am boycotting it right now, but I do think there's good things about working at Sephora. And I will tell you why, because I have all of these notes, so believe me, we're going to get through all of it. I'm just going to say what I think is good about Sephora first. So, first, yeah, it's a great place to work if you love makeup. It's a great place to start. It's a great stepping stone if you want to work at like a MAC, or if you want to work as a makeup artist, if you want to, you know, move on after that. You're not allowed to freelance there for whatever reason. You're not allowed to have, you know, take tips. You're not allowed to do any of that stuff. Even if you do like a if you do like a service for somebody, you're not allowed to do any of that stuff. Anyway, but it is a good place to like start and like learn, and they teach you through like the training program online, like how to do all that stuff, and like mini makeovers. They go through all of it. You really learn by doing there, which I think is a really great part of that. Also, I worked at Sephora inside JCPenney, so you do get certified a little bit faster because there's less people working there. So I worked with like 6 or 7 people on a team, or maybe 7 or 8, I don't know. But I got certified in 5 months, whereas if you're at a big Sephora, you probably wouldn't get certified for like 2 years. You'd have to work there for a lot longer before you get certified. So that's another good thing about a JCPenney Sephora. What else? And also you get gratis, which is when you get every month an educator comes in, they teach you about the new products and how to use them, and you get new products so you can try them out. So every month you get like free makeup and free skincare and free blah 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 blah, you know? So that's a really great part of that. Anyway, enough talking about why Sephora is good to work at. Let's talk about why I fucking hated it. So, first, let's talk about this was my first red flag experience, and I go through my interview, and I just had like a solo interview. It was just me. I was with the manager. I mean, like I said, it's a very small team, so they're only looking for one person. I happened to get lucky and just had to do one interview, and that was it, and then they just offered me the job. But so I go through my interview, and in my interview, the manager, who I'm not going to say names, and I'm not going to say where I worked, because I feel like I shouldn't do that, but yeah, I go through my interview, and she says at the end of my interview, by the way, you will get, here's like what a day looks like on the job, plus you get gratis. And she's like, and plus you're new, you're gonna get to pick out like 10 extra pieces of gratis, plus like the gratis that you're gonna get for your first time going through education because you're like a new employee. And I also got this when I worked at Victoria's Secret. Like, they give you a bunch of stuff when you first work there to kind of like learn more about the products, and for you to be able to say, yeah, I wear this, or yeah, I know about this, I've tried this product out, and be truthful about it, you know? So she said, you're going to get to pick out 10 extra pieces of gratis, and you will get that on top of your gratis that you're getting this month for when you start and go through education. So I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. I didn't know I was going to get that. I was very excited. But she said that in my interview before I even accepted the job. So, okay, very important that I just said that. Keep that in mind. So then fast forward to, I go through education. I've been working there for like a month. I go through education like everybody else. And a few days before that, I had picked out, she brought over, because there's extra gratis every month, I think. There was like extra stuff around that I got to pick out of. She brought over a huge bin of stuff for me to pick out my 10 extra pieces of gratis with. So I like go through the whole thing. I pick out 10 pieces of gratis. It took me like 30 minutes to pick it out because there was so much. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. It took me like 10 minutes to pick it out because there was like so much stuff. So I'm going through it. I picked all of it out. I put it all aside. She put it in a bag for me and wrote it down, blah, blah, blah. I go through education, and this is another person that's going to be a very important character in this tragedy story. Yeah, so the educator lady comes in, and I just want this is not a disclaimer or anything, but I am somebody who loves makeup. Like, I love to, when I heard that we were going to get educated every month, I was so excited because who doesn't want to learn about new product launches and like I just love to talk about makeup. I could talk about it all day long with anybody. It's like my favorite thing in the world to do. So when we were getting educated, I was so excited. I'm ready to answer questions. I do my research outside of work. Like, for me, work didn't end when I clocked out. Like, I go home and I watch videos and I look up products and I research products and I look at ingredients and all that stuff. So for this educator lady to decide she doesn't like me the first day, I was like, what in the world? Because I was like, huge smile, so polite. I'd always be polite. I'm a polite person, especially when I'm in a professional environment, especially when I just got hired. You know what I mean? So this lady decides she doesn't like me. I'll tell you why later. But she goes in the back after I got educated, and she says to my manager, she's not allowed to get that stuff because our policy changed. So she's going to have to just put all that stuff back. She's not getting the stuff that she picked out. The issue I have, first of all, I was so pissed. And I wasn't about to rock the boat so early. Like, I wasn't ready to do that yet because I just got hired. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to lose my job if I say, why the fuck aren't you giving me my gratis? But if you first of all, this isn't my interview, so I think this is going to be part of my job. Like, you're telling me I'm getting something, you better give it to me. You wouldn't do this to a customer where you'd say, oh yeah, you're going to get all this stuff, and then not give it to, just be like, oh, never mind, our policy changed, so you're not going to get that stuff anymore. Like, you can't do that. That is so unprofessional, and like, where are your values? If you do that to an employee, what kind of a manager are you? What kind of a company are you where you wouldn't give that to somebody? Like, that sat with me for a really long time. I was very angry about that for a long time, but I tried to let it go because, I'm just like, okay, well, I guess I just won't get it, but it only benefits them to give me that stuff because otherwise they're just throwing it away. Like, they just threw that stuff away instead of giving it to me. So, and who are you to say, I don't care if your policy changed 5 minutes before you walked in that door that day, you have to give me that stuff. You told me I was getting it, you can't just take it away, okay? I'm not being like a spoiled brat, like I'm super greedy, like you have to give people what you promise them, okay? First problem. Next problem. Let's see here. So, anyway, I just want to talk, so everybody's totally unprofessional at the place I work at. I'm starting to realize it as I work there for months and months. And immediately, again, somebody else decides that they don't like me at work, and it's the assistant manager she's about 26 or something like that. She is, everybody that works there is very young. They're about my age, kind of. I was the youngest one there, but this girl was so mean to me for I worked there for 9 or 10 months. She was probably the rudest person I've ever come into contact with, and I've never had somebody hate me so much. Like, she could barely stand me when I walked in the door. It was like she couldn't even, like, physically be near me or she would, like, explode. That's how much she hated me. And for what reason, I have no idea, because like I said, all I want to do is be there and be part of the team and, work hard and sell makeup and, like, hell, we don't even get fucking, commission there. So the fact that I'm working so hard to, like, meet our sales goals is like, dude, you don't find people like that. I'm sorry, but, like, you don't get commission there, so why do people work so hard? Like, that's what, for me, I feel like needs to change about Sephora. You don't get commission, and you can't accept tips for doing, like, what other people do. You know what I mean? you're like selling your soul to sell this makeup. And anyway, I just want to talk about how mean she was, because it's important to note that, like, you cannot be this unprofessional. So I just want to tell you one story. There's 1,000 million stories. I came home to my parents every single day and said, I cannot believe that this person hates me this much. I do not understand why. I have tried everything. I have tried every way to get her to like me, and she is still rude to me, unprofessional to me. She would try to, like, anything that I said, she would say the opposite, basically. And she would say that I'm wrong, or she would twist my words to make me seem wrong, or like she knew more than me. And I'm just like, what is the point? Why are you living your life like this? But anyway, I came home every day. I was upset every single day that I worked, because this girl was making my life hell for no reason. This is something that she said to me one time, and this is just like a little, this just gives you like an idea, because I can't say all the stories. I don't have enough time. But this just kind of said what her issue was. I was doing a makeup look, and I always would do what the person asked me to do. So if somebody came in and said, I really want like this kind of look, I would do it for them. So, but a lot of people just come in and they say, because if you know how to do your makeup, you're probably not getting your makeup done at Sephora, no offense, but that's usually just not what happens. So people would come in and they say, usually, like, you know, do whatever you want to do, and I would just do like a basic look, because it goes with everything and it looks good on, you know, I would switch it up for people's eye shapes and stuff. But anyway, so she comes over and I'm doing a look on somebody for prom, and she's got like her whole family there, and she had done, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't prom, it was a bridal, it was bridal. So I was doing the bridesmaid, because she possibly, like, she couldn't take the bridesmaid, she had to take the bride. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll do the bridesmaid. So the bride is over on the other side, and then I'm over doing the bridesmaid 30 minutes after her. So I'm still doing her makeup. She asked for a certain look, and I'm doing it, and then she comes over, she had finished the bride, but my girl, you know, I'm doing her makeup, and she's loving it, and the bride was like, didn't really like it that much, no offense. What am I saying, no offense? She didn't like it. And I'm doing something, you know, I'm doing, like, the girl I'm doing loved her makeup, whatever. So she comes over, and she literally says to me, she says, wow, that looks actually pretty good. Actually looks pretty good. I didn't know that you could do any other makeup look than the one that you always do. And I'm like, calculating, who the fuck does she think that she's talking to? And who says that in front of a client? I have somebody in my chair right now, like, that is the rudest thing I've ever heard. I do not know how I kept my composure in that moment. I was so mad. How rude can somebody be? Okay, that just shows, that's the assistant manager. Assistant manager said that to me in front of a client and a bridal shot, like a bridal party that was watching me do her makeup. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So anyway, that is just one just great thing. So anyway, here's another story to further talk about why they are such unprofessional pieces of this is, okay, I already asked the girl if I could say this story, and she said it's okay. But I worked with a girl, and just to give like a little background on her, she is like an extremely hard worker. She supports herself, she lives with her boyfriend, they have rent to pay, she's my age, we're both 21. She's my age, and she is out there, and like, she works her ass off. Seriously, like, I admired her so much because she's like a workaholic, and she needs hours, right? She needs hours. She always works hard, but she's super nice to people. Like, I can't even really say that so much for myself as like, she would go out of her way to be nice to people, which is very hard. If you guys have been into Sephora and had a bad experience, you know it is sometimes hard to find a Sephora employee who like is that kind to you and goes out of your way that much. So here we go. So I just had to tell you guys that story really quick because this girl just works really hard. She would not say anything rude to anybody purposefully. I've never heard her say anything mean. So this is like doubly awful. So here we go. So this girl, and I will use a different name. I'm just going to use Katie, I guess. I'll use Katie. So Katie is she worked a day of the week, and I guess she came up, like, you know, you have to, like, factor in that there's gonna be people that come in who just have horrible attitudes. Like, they're just looking for a fight, and that's okay. It's retail. People come in all the time. Like, it happens. It happens everywhere I've ever worked, where people come in and they're just having a horrible day, and they pick you to go out, like, to go off on, right? So anyway, I guess something like that happened, where this lady had gone off on, like, just, you know, having a horrible day, looking for a fight, and she just happened to choose Katie. So I almost said her name. She happened to choose Katie. So anyway, this lady goes home and writes a really bad survey about her on her receipt, and she mentions her name in there and types up, like, this long paragraph. And let me tell you, by the way, we're not allowed to see, or we're not supposed to see, negative surveys about people at all. Like, that should be, like, anonymous 100%, even if it, like, you really shouldn't even show us. You should just kind of summarize for us that, like, hey, a bad survey came in, this is what was said, blah, blah, blah. We should never know about it, though. Like, we should never know who it was about, or, like, what they said exactly. But anyway, so the manager sees this survey come in. She prints it out. Her and the assistant manager did this together, by the way. Prints it out on a piece of paper. We're not supposed to see these. Prints it out, highlights her name, highlights everything that's bad, like, that was said badly about her. Instead of calling Katie, by the way, they let her come into work. They didn't even call her and ask her, because she didn't work for a few days. They didn't even call her and say, hey, this bad survey came in, like, what happened? Just, you know, like, let's talk about it. Instead, she comes in to find that the manager had already gone to the GM of JCPenney and, you know, basically just threw her through the ringer and didn't stick up for her employee at all, and said, yeah, like, this girl, I can't believe that this happened. She was so rude to this employee, blah, 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 blah. But you, like, dude, you didn't even get Katie's story. Like, what do you mean? So Katie comes in, and everybody, they had printed out the survey and put it up front where everybody is, like, where we all, like, you know, the registers and stuff. Puts it up front, tapes it onto our register, and makes every one of us sign it that we've read it. What? First of all, what? So Katie comes in, and everybody is, like, looking at her like she just, like, basically, they know that she's gonna get, like, a death sentence, basically. I mean, I, of course, didn't do that, because I know that she's not, you know, fucking rude to people, and, like, this person was just obviously another bad like, a unhappy customer, because she's an unhappy person. So she comes in and is blindsided by this. First, like, how unprofessional to do this, and to not stick up for your employee. Like, if you're not going to stick up for your employees, why the fuck would we want to work for you? Like, that is awful. So when I heard this story, I was upset, because I was like, dude, you just, like, demoralized somebody. You basically just did this so you could dehumanize her and embarrass her in front of everybody and get us all to think that, like, she's a bad employee and she was so rude to somebody, when I know, and maybe if you, like, watched her more and asked her what happened, you would know. Like, you didn't even ask her what happened. So, you know what? To me, I was like, that is just somebody who's evil inside. Another story with Katie is, she, like I said, she was a workaholic, and she was always looking for hours. And I was always giving away my hours because I had school, and they always scheduled me way too much. So I was like, okay, take my hours, you can have them, like, you can take my shift, it's fine. But Katie's always looking for hours, right? So Katie, again, was asking for hours because she knew that I had given up some of my hours, because I was saying, like, I can't work, I have a test, I have finals, I have this week, I really cannot work, please, like, somebody else can take my hours. So Katie was asking if she could have more hours, and she knew mine were available. So, and by the way, she was asking up front where everybody is, so I could hear this. So my manager takes her over to the side in the corner, but I can still hear. It's a small store. JCPenney Sephora's are super small. I can still hear everything that she's saying. And Katie's asking for more hours, and then my manager says, well, you know, the store, I'm not going to say the name, but the store down the street is hiring, right? She said, you know that they're hiring, right? Why don't you just go over there? Like, who fucking says that to their employee? Like, are you you're being so obvious that you just want her to leave and, like, go somewhere else. Like, ugh. I could not believe my ears when I heard that. How rude. So, again, so unprofessional. Like, ugh. Anyway, I have one more story of why I quit. There's 1,000 stories, truthfully, there are. So then, I'm just going to say one more story, and then I'm going to be done. And then you guys can let me know what you guys think. I want you to, especially to know what you guys think of this story, because I need, like, my really smart, like, lawyer people to, like, let me know what's up. So, like I said, I was certified on February 4th. So I was certified to do the CMO custom, like, makeovers, and that's like the 45-minute service that you're supposed to get, and you have to go through training for it. You get like a plaque for it. Oh, it's a sheet of paper, not really a plaque, but and then you go through, you have to do like what's it called, like a 45-minute makeover on a model, like, to get certified to do this in front of the educator. So she comes in and she judges you really hard, and it's actually really hard to pass. So I got certified, luckily, after only 5 months of working there or whatever it was, in February. And I was doing some research, and I was like, and my dad actually said this to me. He was like, wait a minute, now that you're certified, don't you get a raise? I was like, I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. I probably do. So I go online and I see that, yeah, you do get more, you get paid more when you're certified to do makeup, so at Sephora. So I was like, oh, I really need to, like, ask her about that. So I go in the back room and I ask her, we were sitting down, and I was like, you know, I just want to ask you, am I getting a raise now that I'm certified, and, like, what is it going to be? And she was like, oh, my throat is so dry. She was like, she's like, yeah, you do. First of all, wasn't even going to tell me that I was going to get a raise. I had to ask. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, are you kidding me? So then she was like, yeah, it is. So I was like, do you know, like, what it's gonna be? Like, how much more is it? She goes, I'm not really sure. And I was like, maybe you should ask. So then, I didn't say it like that, of course, and I didn't even say maybe you should ask, but I'm thinking, maybe you should ask. So apparently she doesn't know how much I'm getting, but she does know that, well, this is I don't know how she knows this, because it doesn't even seem correct. She goes, yeah, but you're not going to get it till May. And I'm like, wait a minute, it's February. I'm not going to get paid extra till May, but meanwhile, I'm going to be performing the task that I got certified to do. So I'm going to be doing, hello, prom is like in April, by the way. So I was doing 3 CMOs a day, and I'm doing all of this skilled work because I'm now a skilled worker, so I should be getting paid more. Never showed up on my paychecks. I never got a raise, and then I asked her, I'm like, where is my raise? Like, where's the raise? I don't see the raise on my paycheck. She says, oh, I really don't know. I still have to ask about that, but yeah, you still shouldn't get it till May. I'm like, I am performing a task that I got certified for. Why would I not get paid immediately more? Immediately once I get certified. That makes no sense to me. So I want you guys to tell me what the fuck happened. If I should be, like, more upset about that. I don't know. I mean, I'm obviously very upset still, and I have not worked there for like a month now, but I'm really pissed about it still. I'm really pissed about Sephora in general. This is my uniform. I'm just going to be burning this outside in my fire pit. So I'm pretty sure that will be some good, that'll be worth a good Snapchat story. So you should add me on there. But anyway, you guys, that is why I quit Sephora. I'm totally done at that place. I will not be working there ever again. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say. And like I said, this is just my experience. I know retail sucks for some people, especially me. I really hate it. But yeah, this is my experience. I still think Sephora is a good place to start out. Hopefully you don't have the same manager as me. And if you have these similar problems in your work environment, I don't know, you guys, just kind of maybe evaluate, is the job worth it to go through with something like that, or is it not? But thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye.